Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jack Farmer, and this is the Evolution of Movies show, and I am joined, as always, by the hosts with the most. I don't know. They don't pay me to say this kind of stuff. Andy Rossi and James Shippey. Andy, coming to us live from the Soho International Film Festival.
That's right. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see behind me. That's no backdrop. That's real New York back there. Tribeca, yeah. Soho area, I believe. I got lost earlier this morning, but I'm back now.
By the way, I'm loving the Twitter handle you have for your name there, at Dead Body Movie. Of course, you're promoting Dead Body Movie, which is at the film festival. That's why you're there. You're not just an onlooker. You are a participant. And of course, our mugs are in that movie as well. So congratulations on the showing there and all the success.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for people to see you guys all week.
Nice.
And James, I have to say, if you're listening on the audio version, you're not going to get this. But if you're watching the video version, I love this because I put a picture up as the background. But it kind of looks like James is just animatedly talking with his hands.
I saw that.
Yes. Right now. That was totally unintentional, but it feels
hands.
like you're very animated right now.
Yeah. Believe me, folks. Believe me.
I'm so glad you saw that, because I was laughing right when we started.
So let's get this show on the road. This is the Evolution of Movies show. We watch movies and talk about them book club style, but we call it the Evolution of Movies because we always pick a movie that came out 1 year after the last movie we watched. So we started in 1990, then to 91, 92. Now we're all the way to 2016. Which means 2017 is next week. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the here and now, 2016. A time when movie theaters were filled with hits like 13 Hours, Inferno, and of course, Sausage Party. But we aren't talking about any of those. Wait a minute. We are talking about Sausage Party. Oh, dear. Well, here we go. IMDb describes it as a sausage strives to discover the truth about his existence.
Wow.
This got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, meaning Mad Max Fury Road remains the high mark with 97%, and Safe House stays at the lowest rating with 53%. James, had you seen Sausage Party before, and what did you think going in this time?
Yeah, I must say I did not watch this movie before. I had my thoughts about it just based off the title alone, and it pretty much exceeded whatever I thought Sausage Party would be. There's some things in this movie that you will never unwatch, ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched this, obviously. So, and I got to talk to those critics. We got to get this Safe House bumped up a bit.
It is funny because Safe House was one of the first movies we did the Rotten Tomatoes comparison thing with. So I thought, okay, 53%, whatever. But then when you see other movies and their ratings, you're like, wait a minute. What did Safe House do wrong? This doesn't seem appropriate.
Yeah.
But Andy, you just watched this movie. You're promoting a movie yourself. What did you expect going into Sausage Party?
I had no idea. And you totally, I had a little panic attack in the beginning when you said movies like Sausage Party. I'm like, isn't that what we're talking about today? I'm like, was I supposed to watch Get Out? No, I had never watched Sausage Party. I could only imagine what it was. It exceeded what I thought it was going to be. Like it was total chaos. It's pretty much the whole time. But funny stuff. But the Rotten Tomatoes stuff is interesting because if you really look at like the critics that rate these movies, it's from these like random. It's not like it's all like these very professional news outlets. Not like the New York Times and Rolling Stone magazine for all of them. It's like those two, and then like avvisual.cptedmonton.com says, and you're like, how are these our experts?
Do not besmirch the name of audiovisual cpt.edmonton.
Okay, well, they're good. Frank's a good guy over there. He knows what he's talking about.
Frank.
So I picked this movie, and I'd heard it was funny, and it was different than what we've been watching. I also wanted to throw in a cartoon to the mix. So I picked it, and I say it's time we just get on with this giant food pun of a movie. But first, I want to thank everybody for watching the show on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you consume your podcast. Give us a like, a comment, a share, subscribe. A 5-star review on Apple Podcasts wouldn't bother me much either while you're around. So do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about this. All the food at the grocery store thinks the people are gods that are going to take care of them. And in a song, they mock the differences in religion and how in the end, we all kind of think the same thing, but all think everyone else is wrong. James, setup of the movie, we already kind of get the idea of these are characters that basically believe in an afterlife, and we kind of get the heavy-handed what the theme of this movie is going to be. Tell us about the characters and the world they live in.
Yeah, well, like I said, they're being not so subtle, And I mean, we could, there's a lot of personification in this movie, obviously, Sausage Party, but what people think of afterlife or like religious, spiritual beliefs. But yeah, it's very lighthearted in the beginning, as you see that when the supermarket's opening up, they do like a song and dance about the excitement of the gods coming to take them to the great beyond, and everyone's excited, from the corn to the fruit and the vegetables to, and obviously our main kind of group of protagonists in the red, white, and blue section, because I'm assuming it's 4th of July coming up with the hot dogs and the buns together. That's for you, Andy.
Yeah, Andy, how is that impression? Is it good now that you know?
Yeah. I've been here 15 hours, so I'm an expert, and that was spot on.
Oh, thank you very much. So, there was dogs and coffee over there, and it's just fascinating because, like I said, it's so personified, and to them, they're going to the great beyond with the gods, but they don't know what awaits them on the other side. They just know it's a big deal to get picked and taken by these human beings who they call gods, and it's just kind of funny, and it's very kind of whimsical and gives food a personality, which we don't really think about. Like, it's kind of an innocuous kind of thing that we do by going to supermarkets every day. So I don't know, it's just very interesting how they go about it. Andy,
we get to this first song, and kind of to James' point, it's lighthearted, but they are dealing with a pretty serious subject here, and that is religion and basically our belief system.
It's crazy. Yeah, I wondered in this movie, like, if you were to like get this on accident for your kid, if you were to start playing it and be like, oh yeah, this is a nice cartoon for children, but it lets you know very quickly that it is not. Like, I thought maybe it would like wait a little bit until it gets like, very Seth Rogen-y. And no, it gets there right away. They say exterminate the juice or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, like right off the bat. And then they start with like that song in the beginning. And I was kind of like, I'm not a huge cartoon movie guy, and I'm definitely not a huge musical guy. So in the beginning, I'm like, oh my God, is this going to be just musical cartoon form the whole time? But no, that was pretty much the only song they do. Spoiler alert, that's pretty much the only time they sing.
I am thinking a cartoon musical next time I have an opportunity.
I know we just lost a couple of viewers now.
But as things get going, the boss, I called him the evil one at the time, but the guy running the store throws away a package, and we see that there are stakes here in this story as the fellas try to slip into some buns. Lots of sexual innuendo as the mustard is returned from being purchased, and he's all messed up, but firewater prevents him from saying anything about it. The hot dogs and the buns get picked, but we also see as honey mustard gets picked again, and now he starts telling everyone when he tries to telling everyone about what happens after you get picked, and he tries to tell the groceries what to expect. The whole cart goes over in a Saving Private Ryan style battle. The groceries get left behind. The douche gets swept up, and Frank and Bun get away and bump into Lavash and Bagel. Meanwhile, douche is in the trash with no purpose, so he drinks a juice box's juice and vows revenge. Andy, the juice box got drank. Walk us through
Walk
this
us-
scene.
Great form. I mean, he really goes for it. You know, like all this stuff is completely insane. And I thought what was funny is actually wrote in my notes. I go, is food really this horny? Like it seemed like right off the bat, like everyone was just wanting to screw. So I thought that was like a weird take. So I was just like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I guess with the hot dog and bun, it obviously makes sense. But yeah, the douche was insane. Like him I guess you needed a villain, and why not be a douche? Literally.
It feels like they went with every single joke that immediately popped into their head about every single type of food as it happened. Because the whole movie seems like it was based off of. Do you think a hot dog is having sex with a bun? It kind of looks sexual. And they said, let's make a movie about it. James,
real quick though, before we go into James, I can't stop laughing at his hands there. I think that's what made me think about it. I was like, yeah, this movie's pretty believable with food talking, but hot dogs don't have hands. I don't know why. That like really threw me off. I'm like,
I had a similar thought though when they touch fingers, they touch tips, as they say. For some reason, the bun's hand comes out. I'm like, okay, but then when his hand came out, I was like, how come he's got these big gloves on?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He could have just used his little head. I would have liked to have seen him with, just a hot dog.
But she wasn't wearing gloves. Why is he wearing Mickey Mouse gloves? I didn't get it. It was weird.
Took me out of the movie. Besides that, it was super believable.
You couldn't suspend your disbelief from that part. Everything else you bought, but that was the bridge too far.
Gloves, no.
Incredible.
But James, I like that they have this character, the mustard, who's in it for a brief period of time, who's seen the other side and comes back. And he's trying to tell everyone about what's going on, but no one believes him. I don't know. That was an interesting thing to sort of put in there. He's the crazy guy that has seen the other side.
Of course. Yeah, and I think it's great. And what I did was I like to, with all the voices, I wanted to know who was voicing them. So, who voiced the Honey Mustard was Nick Kroll, and he always plays. No, it's not Nick Kroll. Actually, I can't remember who did it.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. Yeah, Danny McBride. And he was Nick Kroll's the douche. Yeah, and he plays the douche to perfect form.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny McBride is just losing his mind. There's a lot of MFers in here, and you shitheads, you this. It's a lot of 4-letter words, and he's lost his mind. He's like the guy that's come back from the war. And obviously, in most instances, when someone's trying to drop knowledge on a group of people, he's seen things or she's seen things, we always think, okay, this dude's crazy, but he's actually been on the other side. And when they're all, I guess, in the grocery cart and everyone's being picked by that woman, the grocery lady, he's like, we can't do this. And it's like a great kind of, I don't know, action-y sequence when he tries to jump to his demise. And then Seth Rogen, the sausage tries to hold him. And then the bun, played brilliantly by by Kristen Wiig. Right, yeah. Kristen Wiig, who plays Brenda the Bun, she grabs him, and this is all very like unexpected. Because first of all, I don't know about you guys, when I heard about Sausage Party, I thought it was going to be a whole bunch of food like in a refrigerator at someone's house. I didn't know like most of the plot would take place inside of a supermarket. So it was just very interesting. And once they all fall out of the cart, I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that, because everyone was so excited to finally go to the beyond with the God. And that was kind of a good change of pace, because at that point, they're out of the cart, they're out of their packages. And I'm like, I don't know. I thought like, oh, food is out of the package. That isn't right. It's going to get dirt on it. It's going to get grime. They're on a supermarket floor. Ugh. That's the first thing that went to my mind. Like, oh, well, this food is ruined.
Right. Well, and that's how the other hot dogs were. They were saying, he's out of package. He's out of package. And I was seeing this lady there's like a Saving Private Ryan style battle happening right under your cart, and you're just walking right over it, lady. Jeez. But I thought that action scene was actually really cool, the way they played it, and they show was it peanut butter trying to pull jelly back into the car?
I'll save you.
Just a fun play on all these different things. Again, it felt like they took every single idea you could have about food and said, we're going to fit it in here somehow.
Mhm.
The groceries go to the liquor aisle, and Bun thinks it's going to make the gods angry, but Frank goes into Firewater's cave. He meets the Unperishables, and they tell him the truth of the gods and that they made it up, and now everyone sings their own songs. They tell Frank that the only way to get proof of this is to go to the dark aisle. While that's going on, the groceries get tricked into a trap by Douche, but are warned by Teresa del Taco. Andy, this is where the story really feels like it's starting. This is the real start of the story.
Mhm.
Frank, who isn't named after what he is, and he's not named Sausage as opposed to everybody else. He's learning.
Frankfurter?
He's learning about all these things, and while that's happening, of course, Douche he's coming for revenge, and he's all juiced up.
Yeah, the Douche character is so great. This so like on this perfection. I read that like his voice wasn't originally kind of that douchey bro type voice. He's like a British accent or something when they first shot it, and then he had to reshoot it with that more douchey voice, which I think works great.
Mhm.
One of the things I really liked during this part when they see the Imperishables is the Twinkie. I just thought that was so funny because they're like, it's never gonna like. I'm pretty sure that's pretty true. You leave a Twinkie out for a few years, you just go, oh, fresh Twinkie. So I thought that was pretty clever.
They, by the way, completely just lean into every stereotype you could possibly imagine for all these different characters and their names and things like that.
Yeah.
Mr. Grits. Oh my God.
Yes,
that one.
That's Charles Robinson.
Yeah. Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. Yeah.
And Ed Norton as the bagel was so great too.
Oh, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Him and the guy. Yeah, he stole everything. Him and the other food.
Yeah.
Lavash. I didn't.
Lavash, yes.
So this was one of those movies where every single voice, and James, to your point, you could listen to like, I know who this is.
Yeah,
but
Michael Cera. Yeah.
It was so hard to peg some of them. So like, I didn't look it up. I was waiting until the end trying to figure it out. And then when it showed Edward Norton, I was like, oh my goodness, that was Edward Norton.
Best.
I didn't know it was him.
It was the best.
I didn't know it was Paul Rudd either. It was the guy working at the store.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither. I didn't know till the very end because I kept seeing the name on the thing, but I'm like, but who's that? You know. So
yeah, with Jonah and Michael Cera, it's hard to not hear their voice. Or Seth Rogen, obviously.
Yeah. So James, this is, as I mentioned, kind of where the story starts and where it picks up here. And we also get new characters added in, as mentioned. We got the bagel, we got the Lavash. They hate each other, but they learn to.
It's so on the nose with them, and I was trying to figure out, okay, well, where's this Lavash from? You know, because I guess, and forgive me because I know it's later in the film. I'm assuming, are they supposed to represent like a Jewish person and like someone from a Palestinian or something? I don't know.
Like
Palestinian or obviously a Middle Easterner, and you know the stuff with it. We'll see, but it's something that represents the Gaza Strip. I'm assuming hummus representing the guy. It's so on the nose, but it's endearing, right? Like, you know, talking about why are they fighting? Oh, you know, why can't you all kind of occupy the same space? And they like laugh at Seth Rogen, like they laugh really hard, like, oh, you just don't know.
Right. Yeah. Why
you can't
both
share the land, you know?
Yes. Yeah. But it's interesting how you can when you take these stereotypes and you make them so obvious and so on the nose, it gives it more of a pass as opposed to if it was subtle.
Oh, of course.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's an interesting, like, because they were so on the nose, we go, okay, it's fine to make these stereotypes. But if it wasn't on the nose, we'd say, you can't judge people. Like, it's just an interesting way of like how you cross the line is an interesting thing.
And the fact that they're cartoons, I think you get a pass. Like Bill Hader doing like the stereotypical Native American rainwater.
He played so much, and then he played the tequila.
Yeah.
Bill Hader was like playing everything, and I kept thinking, this is pretty Barry. Like, but it's Bill Hader. He's playing everything, and yes, they were going very deep with some of these tropes. Like, I don't know how this would be coming out now. Like, it's funny, like how much can change in 5 years, right? Like. the sensitivity of everything. You know, Selma Hayek, supposedly an overweight or not shapely taco hard shell. You know, that was hard
Yes.
to buy, but you know, they at least try to give it like attractive legs. You know,
Isn't it weird? Like you see her, like, oh, it does look like Selma. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, wasn't
But
she checking out the Bun's legs too? The Bun's legs.
she was totally crushing on Buns. Like, but like I said, in real life, it'd be the other way around. Selma Hayek is like this shapely, you know, like beautiful woman, but like she's like coveting, you know, someone else. So I thought that was kind of fun and playing against type, I guess.
Again, speaking on the nose, a taco and and Buns. I mean, come on, hanging out with a wiener. Come on, it's so.
Look, Seth Rogen, because I know they're like big stoners. They had to have gotten really high when they were like thinking of some of these things. I mean, these are things you would think off the top of your head, but like I'm sure they really got into it, like outlining the story and this and that. They were getting fucking toked, like blazed. I'm sure, like they were smoking some good shit.
Spoiler alert! I kept waiting for them to peel the onion on this story. No onion gets peeled. This is it's about as flat out there as they can get. This is it. That we're not. There's no deeper meaning. I mean, the deeper meaning of the movie is basically them hitting you on the nose with the meaning of the movie. But the groceries get home, and it is a bloodbath as everyone dies horribly. Douche finds the groceries, and they narrowly escape as Barry sees horrible things on the streets of Cartoon City, USA, and hitches a ride on a car he hopes takes him back to the store. Frank finds Bun and tries to explain that the gods are evil, and Bun doesn't want to hear it. So they break up as Meatloaf hits us with a montage.
That was good.
Andy, I feel like Meatloaf singing to them was half of what got this movie made. They were at the grocery store, saw Meatloaf, and said, what if Meatloaf was actual Meatloaf? And that's how the story got made.
Oh my God.
I have not read that as a fact, but I feel like that's the truth.
I mean, the fact that they got that in there, I thought was great. Because I was actually thinking of that. I'm like, is there any other like popular artists that just go by a name of a food? And I couldn't think of any. So Meatloaf, I'm glad they got him a cameo there. And that scene that you were talking about where they all go back to the house, I don't know about you guys, but usually when I watch a movie, I'm snacking. So I was snacking on some popcorn. And I did have like a moment of like, should I eat you, little buddy? Like, I was kind of like, I can't eat this poor little popcorn. Because, I mean, they just get butchered when Jonah Hill gets sliced down the middle.
Oh my God.
My God.
But why? Why would she? I don't get that. Like, like she sliced him like from head to anus, or you know, or head to toe. Anus. Hot dog to head dog to anus. The peeling of the potato.
Yeah.
That I cracked.
That was
so
disturbing.
Hard.
I'll be honest with you. Like I was like, oh my God, because think of all the things we do to our food, right?
His reaction was so funny though. The potato.
Yeah.
He's so excited.
Oh yeah, he's so happy to be bathed in the water, as you know, at the wash.
Bathed by the hands of a god.
Then the tomato's like, I have a family, you know.
I couldn't believe how much I was laughing as they were just being butchered. It was the most horrible scene. Yeah. And I was laughing so hard. This was the funniest part in the movie, was them just they're eating children.
That was funny with the baby carrots.
Oh, the baby carrots. She like caught them before they fell to the ground and threw them in her mouth. My God.
Could you imagine though, like if you're like a vegan or something already, and you're like, all right, I'm not going to eat any animals. I'm going to be a vegan. Then you watch this movie, you're like, well, I can't eat anything.
Right.
That's it.
I will say they played fast and loose with the rules of what makes a live creature, though, because they showed a scene where they shredded cheese painfully, put them onto chips, and then melted the cheese. And it was this horrible scene of like if a person was being melted on someone else. Yet a pizza was alive in its own thing, where technically that should be dead bodies at that point. So sausage party, hard to believe this story you're telling.
That poor
So
pizza though.
it took Jack, like I said, once again, everyone has their different breaking points. Took Jack about 40 minutes into the film to be like, yeah, I'm not buying it anymore.
Mine was the
When the
gloves.
the gloves and the pizza being alive.
Everything else I can buy.
What about that condom in the
Oh my God, so disgusting.
Look at me.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
I got stretched out.
And then the toilet paper. What does he do to you? You don't want to
You don't want to know.
I had to rewind that because I was like, what is that? I couldn't tell when I was watching it. But yeah,
But yeah,
you don't want to know.
Yeah, like you said, Jack, it's kind of like what's real. Everything comes to life, it seems. Like the toilet paper, the condom, like everything's alive. Like nothing was like, yeah.
This is
What
where
are the rules here in this world?
Yeah, Seth Rogen. Why are they wearing gloves when it's supposed to be near the 4th of July? It should be very warm.
And why is the pizza not have his legs anymore? Shouldn't
he should be just a pile of dead corpses.
I felt so bad for that little slice of pizza though. It's like my legs.
You took my legs.
So as we move on, Barry gets spotted by the guy who's high on bath salts, so he's able to connect with him. At the store, the groceries get back home. The groceries get back home, causing Taco and Bun to go their separate ways. A piece of gum tells Barry how to get back to the store, but he gets dumped into a boiling pot of water. At the store, Frank gets to the cooking aisle and finds his proof. The bagel and the lavash finds home sounding a little bit different than it used to. Douche continues to grow. Frank gets on the intercom, though, and tries to tell us all the great beyond is a lie and shows the truth. And the arguments slowly start to turn into denial as Brenda the Bun gets taken. This is that all hope is lost moment that we all wait for in every movie, James. The world is falling apart. Brenda's taken. No one believes Frank. Barry, I don't know why he's named Barry. It has nothing to do with being a sausage, but
Barry.
but we also see that even though Bagel and Lavash had become friends, they can't be friends because of who they are. Everyone's torn apart. James.
Yeah,
Were you awake? Were you awake during this part, James?
I was.
James, like, really?
Wow, that sounds crazy. You make that up, Jack?
I know. Yo, that part was crazy. That part when they were all yelling, that was crazy. That's when you'll know I didn't finish the film. I start saying stuff like that. Yeah, I thought, and once again, they're getting very on the nose because the store's about to open up in a few minutes, and he's trying to tell everyone what the great beyond really is. He's trying to tell people the truth, what he's seen. And, it's funny how people are yelling at him like, oh, you don't accept everyone else's beliefs. How dare you? Who do you think you are? And I think still at that point, the Bun had found her way back to another package. And she wants to like kind of fall in line and follow. I get the big thing is about following the rules, right? The rules of our existence, so to speak. And yeah, I remember when the Korn was getting ready to sing that song. He's like, don't you do it, Korn. Don't you sing it.
I kind of felt bad for Korn there.
Yeah. Because he's like looking at everyone. Yeah. Yeah, and then at that point, like I said, this is the third act, the craziest act, I might say. It's very interesting. Yeah, there's some interesting things that happen in this part of the film. But yeah, I don't know. You take it away. I was about to call you Jake.
From State Farm?
Jake from State Farm.
I just thought the gum was funny. I was like very Stephen
Hawking.
Oh
my God. That was it's like, oh my, I can't believe y'all would go there. But it works. It works for the gum to be.
And how he like states what his name is, and Seth Rogen's like, "Your gum." Oh no, Michael Cera, I think, right? It's like your gum, your gum.
Oh yeah, because it's like I'm erythol, this and that.
I loved gum.
Yeah,
I don't know why that character was so fantastic to me.
That's great.
How did the hold on? This is the thing I have to know. How did I mean? Maybe you got to that part or not, but screw it, I'm going there. All of it, Barry and them eventually come back, right? Like, how did they get back to the grocery store? That's when it broke my. That's when my suspension of disbelief was ruined.
That
I
was
was like, well, how did they get back there?
The stoner guy, right? Or no?
Well,
no, he
Yeah.
did not drive them there.
Oh,
In fact,
that's
let's
right.
just say
No.
Barry arrives
Axeman.
on the scene and he shows them that food can kill. He gives Frank
That's
a little
right.
pep talk and the gang goes into action. Everyone gets high and Frank gives a stirring speech about how no one has all the answers and we need to put aside our differences. And they do, murdering the people who have families and we're just picking up
gosh.
groceries. The douche takes control of a man and the gang kills the guy that was just going to work and douche by blowing them up. The movie wraps up and James, walk us through the sex scene.
Oh my God.
That's not just a sex scene. That's an orgy of food.
I will never be able to unsee that, Jack.
Walk us through the food orgy.
No, I want a scene by scene, shot by shot. Walk us through this.
At a certain point, you're trying to figure out, okay, you're doing this to that. And the first thing, and see, I don't know how offensive that is that the, what is it called? Not the
Very,
shallow,
I'm
the
guessing.
lavash, the
The
lavash,
I think it's the
The-
lavash. I
the
might be saying it
lavash
wrong.
and a bagel. The lavash is like, I won't get my, because the lavash had this kind of through line that he was ready to get his, 40 virgin or extra virgin olive oil. Yeah. And now that he won't get it, he tried to kiss. He tried to kiss the bagel. And he's like,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on here? And then he's like, oh, well, I won't get my virgin. So this is the next best thing. And then the bagel's like, kiss me now or something. So you've got all kinds of sex going on here.
From the beginning, the food's been super horny. I mean, they even draw the bun like a vagina.
Of
It's
course.
like a weird looking bun.
Oh, is
A
that
weird-
what it is?
Oh, it has breast. The bun has breast. I noticed that at one point.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know. That was weird.
oh.
But yeah, I mean, it was just down to happen. I mean, they were really charged up in the beginning, so we get our payoff at the end here.
That's true. It was built up till the end. They did just deliver on what they promised here. There was a point where the bagel was eating the butt of the lavash, and I think that
Yes. Look, like I
I
said,
can't believe I just said that on a show. What the?
I know.
And the taco was going down on the bun, and they were using the wiener in the bagel.
And then a wiener at one point slid through everything. It slid through the bagel, slid through the taco, the lavash, and then ended up in the bun. I'm like, yo, this is some sick, twisted. Like this is not nasty. I'm not gonna say naughty because naughty can be cute. This is so nasty. The stuff that they're doing here, I'm wondering, like,
and then Michael Cera finds a misshaped bun,
a misshapen bun. The one
I thought that was great.
Yeah, good
Very
for
Michael
him.
Cera-ish, yeah.
Yeah, but he was fornicating. Like, I mean, they were going all in. I mean, he was talking about how he's about to come and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is just rated R. Like, this should have been NR or whatever you call it.
NC-17.
I was thinking of
rated X.
All the animators and people working on this who are like, I got a degree to make this.
This is what I'm doing.
This is what do you work? Like, I imagine they go back home for Thanksgiving. What are you working on, dear? As they're eating, and they're like, oh well, technically.
The guy that wrote the song in the beginning, I think he's written like songs from like The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and stuff.
Oh wow,
so it's just fun.
So Andy, I want to circle back a little bit. You mentioned about how Barry. How did they get to the store? He just drops the dude's head on the conveyor belt, and I love that we skipped that. Like that wasn't the big thing.
Yeah.
He just goes, "Oh yeah, like we killed him, and then we got him here." And he brushes over that part. Why is his name Barry and not like a burger? I'm hung up on this.
I wonder if because Frankfurter, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you would think. They should just call him Wiener or something like that.
Wiener.
Well, it's ironic because he kept calling himself a vagina,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say that word, but
Yeah.
know
Now
what he
we're
said.
now we're drawing the line.
yeah, now we're trying.
This is I don't really know how much more there is to unpack from this movie. Like I said, it feels like I was actually waiting for them to peel the onion a bit more. I was waiting for them to, like, a lot of times they'll have, like, a show will have this is the story, but then in the final act they sort of say this is the bigger story that is also being told on top of it.
Well, they
kinda
kind
yeah.
of do that.
Yeah, they show Edward Norton, and they reveal who played some of the characters, right? And they go into some machine.
I will say this. I thought the first and second act are decent. I thought in the third act, it kind of got a little out of hand, to be honest with you. it was a little much. I don't want to call it lazy. I mean, it's funny but it's like, I don't know. There was kind of they were trying to have some kind of depth or something to it initially in the first two acts, and then it just became like true potty humor to the fullest in the third act, or those last 15 minutes when like I said, the sausage manages to fornicate with every single food that he's been friends with. He finds a way to slide in everything.
And like Jack said, think about how dirty he is. He's been all over the store out of his packaging.
Oh my God. Can you imagine a dirty dog like that? And what you probably can have if you go out, because you should have, that's what they call dirty dogs when you go to like the stands. You should have one today.
No,
they say it's supposed to be in the dirty water, but it tastes good. Yeah, please have one.
Yeah, in that world, you don't have STDs. You have just like dirt. And like, oh, you got dirt on you. But we do end, I guess you guys alluded to this, just to make sure we're covering our bases here. We end with them realizing that they're cartoons and that we, the viewers, are the monsters. Did you feel a little attacked at the end? I felt attacked.
Well, yeah. Like I said, when I was eating my popcorn, I couldn't eat it anymore because I thought I was, killing a bunch of innocent little popcorn guys or gals.
Popcorn guys.
I looked at my food and I said, now it tastes better.
You like this? Do you like this? Huh, Apple?
Now I eat with the refrigerator door open so that everyone can see.
Oh my God.
May this be a lesson.
You
I
monster.
want you to know what's coming.
So basically this movie is about Jack.
Yes.
The monster Jack, right? You monster. Make the refrigerator food watch. Watch their friends' demise.
Any final thoughts on this one, guys?
I just thought it was crazy how many big celebrity or star names they got. Like, we already talked about all of them, I think, but like getting Edward Norton in there and Paul Rudd and Salma Hayek, Kristen Wiig. I mean, you just got like a huge amount of stars to come out, movie stars to come out and be in your movie. I thought was pretty crazy just to be like, I think that's just how respected Seth Rogen is in his films. You're just like, hey, Paul Rudd, I got this movie for you. Anything for you, man. All right, you're gonna actually his isn't that bad. Anything? Well, we're thinking about making.
Well, look, he plays a character that gets like, I thought. You remember, it's almost like you couldn't really tell. I thought they were really gonna have the douche go up his buttocks. Like,
I think,
but
it did.
Doesn't it?
I don't know. Did he? I feel like he was just kind of messing around in the crotchy area, And
I think he went up there.
Maybe briefly. He wasn't up there the whole time.
Based on literally every other part of this movie, I think he went into.
You think he went? It's not like Seth Rogen would be like, no, that's too far.
Yeah. I don't think there's a
literally. He would not say that. But the thing was, at one point, I was like, "Come on, guys!" But I mean, of course, they got to do it. But at one point, the sausage, Frank, with his feet are like lodged on the crotch area or like the zipper.
Oh yeah, he's like flopping around.
Yeah, he's flopping, and at one point, the guy's trying to get him off. He's like jerking him.
Oh yeah,
and he's trying to jerk him off of his pants. I don't know, man. Seth Rogen.
That's a soundbite right there. Jerking him off of his pants is what you just said. Jerking him off of his pants.
Seth Rogen, I was reading, it took him 8 years to make this movie because everyone was passing it like, we can't do this. Everyone, and then finally a studio's like, yes, this is what we're going. We're going to go there with you, Seth.
I'm shocked. One thing that was wholesome fun that I thought was that I popped for was when he shot Gum and Gum repaired himself like the T-1000.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was a fun little
That was fun.
thing.
Yeah.
Wholesome fun, like I said.
I didn't look up who played Gum. Did you guys?
Yeah, I
Gum
don't
was pretty
know.
good. Because I think James
don't-
Franco was like the druggy guy too.
He was. He was the stoner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good job, Gum.
Good job, Gum. Say his full name. So now, Andy, you had mentioned earlier
a
on
guy named Scott Diggs Underwood. So and he played actually a few voices. I don't know who that is, but he
That
played
name
a few
sounds familiar,
voices.
Actually,
Sounds like a cool name.
Yeah.
Well, you said, Andy, that when Meatloaf came out, you were asking yourself, are there any other people who have these kind of names that they could put in the movie? And they do. And I'm going to pose this question to you. Do you have a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Oh, where was he? Why didn't they have him? Well, you know what?
I have a feeling he wasn't interested.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon passed. Well, you just led me to it right there. I had another idea, but I'm going to go with this one. Meatloaf was in Fight Club with Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Brad Pitt was in Sleepers with Kevin Bacon.
What was the other one?
Right.
I had a couple. I was going to either Jonah Hill was in Moneyball with Brad Pitt. And then we had Edward Norton was in Fight Club with Brad Pitt. So all roads lead to Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
And Kevin Bacon.
So that does it for us. And now 2016's done, but we continue forward and we go to 2017. Andy, what movie are we going to be watching next week for 2017?
A much different movie than we just saw. I think the most different we could possibly get. We're going to go with Get Out.
Nice.
Very good movie. That was Jordan Peele's first directorial debut.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, what a debut.
Yeah.
And he wrote the film too.
Came out swinging. Then James, we go to 2018. What are we going to be watching for that one in 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're going to be watching Game Night with another funny, great cast. Ozarks. Why am I blanking on his name?
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman. Yeah, Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams and a whole bunch of other people. Yeah, you see, you know.
your hands.
Hey.
I can't stop laughing.
I got jazz hands.
So Get Out next week for 2017. 2018 is Game Night. 2019, we're going to take a movie that I think was originally supposed to be played by Denzel Washington, but ended up getting played by someone else. We're going to watch Uncut Gems.
Oh, boy.
That was an inside joke.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Nice.
No,
nice callback.
Yeah.
Nice callback.
So 2019, Uncut Gems. I've never seen it. Everyone told me it was great.
Oh, my God.
I missed
you have not seen this movie.
Not seen it. No.
You don't know what you just did to us.
Get ready.
It's going to be an anxiety storm.
Get ready.
Okay, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. Everyone says it's great. So I was like,
yeah, I liked it.
It was one of those movies, you know how like everyone was into it, and then like I kind of missed the boat on it, and time passed. It's like, well, now I don't. It's like you haven't seen Squid Game yet. It's too late to go back. Maybe.
No, it's not too late.
You can do it.
Really?
Do it.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll watch it now.
Yeah.
This comment won't age well in a year from now when I'm like, it's like Squid Game, and everyone will be like, oh yeah,
what was that?
Tiger King.
Yeah, yeah.
In any case, that's it for us. James, where can the world find you online?
You can find me at JShippy2 Twitter, at JEShippy2 IG,
and
at Dead Body Movie. Where can we find you online?
Yeah, find me at Dead Body Movie. Like you said, with a year from now, who knows? I don't know what this movie's future will be, but hopefully when you go there 1 year from now, viewer, that at Dead Body Movie is still on Instagram.
Well, I think a year from now, what's going to be happening is we're going to get to 2021 for a movie to review, and we're going to say Dead Body movie.
Nice.
The Soho International Movie Film Festival award-winning. The LA International Film Festival award-winning.
Oh, wow.
The number one selling movie of all time. Beating
throw Sundance in there while you're at it.
A 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, brutal. It's no safe house, but
Well, that does it for us. I'm Jack. Find me at Real Jack Farmer across all social media. Go check out Dead Body Movie. Go to the Instagram or social media to get all the links so you can watch it online, streaming live right